Hello, this is Matt Cannon with my thoughts of the day. I'm out here in nature, and I think I'm going to do a walk and talk session here with you. And what I want to talk about is this last week, the people who would be called kind of the nerds or the techies or whatever you want to call it, and I'm in that camp, so guilty as charged, had our own kind of soap opera drama online, on X, on different social media formats, and it had to do with the fallout of OpenAI. The board of directors of OpenAI fired, without too much information, the CEO and kind of the poster child for AI research and AI in general, Sam Altman. And he's a co-founder and CEO of OpenAI. OpenAI is the popular company that's launched the app ChatGPT, which I love using. It's a great tool, and I recommend, if you're not using it, you're going to fall behind. Or if you're not using some type of AI app, you are going to fall behind. So I'm definitely bullish on AI technology and tools. The way it's advanced large language models, generative AI and LLMs is pretty crazy what you can do with it. And there's many. It's not only OpenAI. So you have Anthropic, you have Stability AI, you have Claude, you have which Claude is Anthropic. You have Bard, which is Google. You have XAI's Grok, which Elon has built with his company, XAI. And then you got other privatized artificial intelligence companies. This whole drama and debacle showed how there's a real search for talent. So the talent of these people who have this artificial intelligence background and understand how it works are in high demand right now. Mark Benioff from Salesforce was trying to recruit them. Satya Nadella with Microsoft was willing to take on everybody, and I don't blame him. He was going to bring Sam Altman and Greg Brockman onto his Microsoft AI and put them in charge of it. Why wouldn't you? That would have been the most inexpensive acquisition of a company ever, and it would have been like a masterclass of Microsoft's influence and Satya Nadella's craftsmanship as a CEO and knowing what he knows. I saw Satya Nadella in Gartner back in, I want to say it was 2014. He was in Orlando, which is where I'm at, and it was I could tell at that moment when I saw him speak that this was a different Microsoft. And I told several people that. I've read his book. I've followed him closely. He's a very smart, intelligent man. He's a very thoughtful man. He's, I would say, pretty humble too. Humble yet confident, which is a very good balance of a CEO type. And so when I saw what was going on with OpenAI, I was thinking to myself, what does this mean for the future of artificial intelligence companies? And there's definitely a gold rush for talent. But the thing that I find kind of ironic about the gold rush for talent is the talent is ultimately about leveraging the generative AI and the large language models, which the search for talent is really a search for the talent that has the ability to displace talent. Because if you start using these AI tools, you realize that a person plus AI is way better than just the person themselves. So OpenAI, when this whole drama was unfolding, they were saying OpenAI is nothing without its people. And yes, I believe that's true. But in the same breath, I think there was kind of a misnomer about what that really means. And I think AI is on a path towards, in some people's minds, it's going to get beyond human capabilities and it's going to displace us. But what I've heard some people say is they call it's not artificial intelligence like AI, it is intelligence augmentation, or IA, because that's what AI really does. It, when used properly, it helps augment our intelligence. So it augments the human intel, which we have, biological systems and how we are, and it makes us, better and improves our abilities to do things that we wouldn't normally be able to do. And I am coming to a pass here that I'm not going to be able to go through. If you look here, I don't know if you can see that water there. So I walk back this way. Sometimes you're walking and you come to a place in the road where you have to turn around and go the other way. You got to pivot. So what does this mean? Like this whole AI aspect of things, what do I think is going to ultimately happen? And what is the best path forward? OpenAI right now definitely has the leader capacity, where people look at them as they're going to be the leader. They look at it where it's going to basically be them and maybe Microsoft. But what do you think? Like, what do you know about AI? And I think it's one of those things where it's hard to say. Like, I think Elon Musk is definitely going to be in that running. He has the XAI. I remember I was talking to someone in my role of what I do for work, which is in the cybersecurity field. And I was talking about AI's place in the future. And someone asked me the question, well, Elon says that we want to stop AI because it's going to be so dangerous. And I responded and I said, well, Elon says that, but you got to pay attention to what he does more than what he says. Because at the same time he was saying that, now you go back maybe 6-7 months ago, we're right now in November, end of November, 2023. 6 months ago, he was talking about the pause on AI, maybe back in July or so, or June. I don't remember exactly when it was, of 2023. And then he released Grok, his AI. So I said, while he's saying we need to put a pause on AI, he is creating his own AI company. And to me, that was interesting, that he would be making his own AI company while he's simultaneously saying it. And I said, show me, don't tell me. I pay attention more what people do than what they say, because you got to follow the incentives. So what do I think is going to happen with AI? Which company do I think is going to be the most dominant force in AI in the near future? So let's fast forward to 2030. We're in 2023 right now, the end of 2023. In 2030, who do I think is going to be the dominant AI company? Do I think it's going to be OpenAI? Could it be Microsoft? Maybe it'll be Amazon. Who knows? Maybe it will be Google. Google's been leading AI up to this point before OpenAI really launched stuff. And my answer is none of the above. And I kind of think that the company right now that has AI figured out the most, and I don't usually talk about, companies I invest in on this, just because, I feel you start pigeoning yourself into a corner. So I reserve the right to change my mind about what I'm about to say. And I might change my mind. But right now, the company that I think everyone is sleeping on and doesn't even really know about, that really is, they got the governance structure figured out. OpenAI had weaknesses there. They have the incentives aligned. OpenAI's incentives are very misaligned with it being a nonprofit and a for-profit arm. It's all wacky, it's obvious why problems happened. It's more in the enterprise than the consumer space. So consumer space is good because the consumer space gets you more onto the place of being in the forefront of people and people seeing what it can do. But this company knows, they say KLLMs. So what KLLMs means is that it's multiple LLMs. And this is a machine learning concept, this K-LLMs, K-whatever types of learnings that you're using to train the AI. And they also understand this concept of disparate data sources. They understand civil liberties. They understand the capabilities to lock down things and get the most high security clearance. They're even now in a place where you can go through them to build for the government side. And it's a company I've been invested in since their DPO. And for those who know already, and I'll decide whether I want to put the name of the company in this video, I might, which could get different attention, but the company is Palantir, PLTR. It's led by Dr. Alex Karp, who is a CEO who understands philosophy, psychology. He understands how to lead high-performing teams. Palantir had the recommendation and the awareness of people who were in Silicon Valley that they were like the leading talent people, especially back in the day when there's many people that have left Palantir and have ended up starting other companies. But just like the PayPal mafia back in the days, they call it the Palantir Pack now for people who have left Palantir and started other companies. And it was founded by also one of the smartest people in the tech sector, I would say. And that's Peter Thiel, who is kind of an opposite of Alexander Karp, Dr. Karp, but yet they're very good friends. And to me, a company, and they have F shares, which gives them the ability to still steer the company. Those two and Joe Lonsdale, and they're all very different in their views. Joe Lonsdale's no longer with the company, but they just got an NHS contract with the UK. And it was less than what was expected, but it is also, they're going to be managing 70 million people's healthcare records and seeing how they balance that, the medicine that's provided by the government to the people, improve services. To me, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But they also don't look at AI as replacing jobs. They call it innovation with jobs. So people with jobs. So their idea is they make the people who use the AI smarter. It's intelligence augmentation, not artificial intelligence. Intelligence augmentation, IA. So when they do IA, they make people smarter. And by making people smarter, you get PhD level factory workers who are working on a line and they have much more information. And I believe it's going to revolutionize the economy. I believe the company has had 4 GAAP profitable quarters now. And I believe they're going to be included in the S&P 500 soon. And I believe they're just going to dominate. And I think Microsoft would like to buy them. I think Google would love to buy them. And I think AWS and everyone else that knows how the AI talent is would like to have them. But you just got to wait for it. Tiny company right now, maybe 30, 40 billion company compared to multi-trillion-dollar companies. But just watch out, because I think they are leading and no one really knows it. I mean, people know it. There's a group of people that know it, like people like me who have been following it for a long time. People who have read 0 to 1, Peter Thiel's iconic book. People who have been involved since the DPO. People who have seen the wave of very high, then very low. And I think you're going to have to wait and see. They're not the most popular company. They're not a consumer-driven company right now anyway. But I really do believe that they're going to have the tooling and the infrastructure and the capability to do things securely with conviction and do things in a way that's going to be best for society in general, protecting civil liberties. And so those are my thoughts for the day. Kind of not usually doing any stock stuff. And yes, I'm biased because I own a lot of shares. I won't say how many, but I got a good amount. And I've been part of the company for the early days. I just don't really talk about it publicly. But yeah, these are my thoughts. This is Matt Cannon with my thoughts of the day. Signing out.